Now see.
Well, it's.
I actually wrote about why this is an unfairly criticized version of.
Do you want to play it?
Yeah.
I mean, this
Oh,
dicks
you know
on
what?
the SNES version. Sorry, SNES.
SNES.
Oh, the SNES version of Doom is bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you know, this
SNES.
is better than that.
Joel, can I have some water?
Although, you know.
Here.
Right.
You need a 6 button for this one.
Ideally, but I can't remember. It was the top buttons just switch weapons.
Was there an
didn't they?
eyeball next to me the whole time?
No, I just put it there.
Okay.
Right now?
Yes.
As long as it wasn't the whole time.
Would it?
All right. So
Oh.
there's something wrong with this because those words are supposed to be red and they're pink. And when I tested this yesterday, there was no gun sound.
There's
so
still no
that's
gun
wrong.
sound.
Okay, that's map.
This version
That's
is a little
Switch.
janky, but it's not
Wait,
that
is
bad.
it, oh. They have to like close the frame to keep the frame rate up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this
No, it's for
only-
Can you make
atmosphere.
it
Don't worry
smaller?
about
Can
it.
you make it smaller to get even more frame rate?
Yeah, I need
No,
this to
you
be
can't.
60.
You can hit the minus button. Okay.
That's wild.
So this only has like half of the levels in Doom.
Yeah.
And it's, it's kind of like a framey mess. But when you're talking about 1995, some people only had this way to play Doom, and Doom
Like
is still
me.
Doom, and Doom's great. This is a totally fine way to play Doom.
I say like me who can't even remember the way to go.
Yeah, you go that way. I was wondering what you were doing.
Listen,
I
Doom's
think it's still-
confusing. It's hard to
Yeah.
concentrate on where you're going.
There
when
we go.
When you're holding your gun like an actual pendulum.
Yes. So that was the thing. Was like you, Patrick. You had an article this week or last week that was about how Doom 2 was like the game that taught you how to operate a computer.
Yeah. Like the idea of like installing things, like managing directories, like DOS commands, like Doom is what taught me all of that stuff, got me into computer games, and then when you got more advanced games, like I got really into Star Wars Dark Forces.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, technically my computer had enough virtual memory to run that, but not if you booted the machine up standard.
Right.
You had to go into the
Really?
config file
Oh my
and
God.
individually pick what parts of the computer booted, so you freed up enough virtual memory for the game to start.
That's so great.
And so that taught me like different elements of
Yeah.
the computer system that like are needed in order to like run the game.
And, like-
then you would write down those elements that you clicked yes or no
Right.
to when you booted it, because if you didn't do that, the game just wouldn't run.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things where, like, even though I didn't have a PC yet, I knew that the PC version of games like Doom were just way better through
Yeah.
word of mouth and magazines and stuff.
It's right in my face.
So I eventually also did the same thing with Doom and with Wolfenstein and with a bunch of other stuff, where it was just like, okay, I need to figure out this stuff. And I remember lots of nights where like me and my dad like crouched over a computer, unsure of why anything was working or not working, just like getting heated, just getting upset, like why?
Yeah, and
Well, this
now you
worked.
just have to do that by yourself.
Right, exactly. Well, no, I have a whole team of people who will
Yeah,
help
sure.
troubleshoot me when I'm broken.
All right, Austin, let's figure out what's wrong with you.
A
Why
lot.
can't you get this game working?
Yeah.
I'm sure I should have got a shotgun by now.
I had a weirdly opposite experience
don't
with
think
PC
so.
gaming because my dad was like a weird nerd, like
Oh.
where he like would buy computer stuff just to see if he could get it working,
Yeah.
and buy games just to see if they would run, but then wouldn't play them because he
wouldn't
didn't
play
like
them, yeah.
playing games. He just wanted to. see
It was
if
just
he
like
could
an
get it to work.
experiment.
Right. So like I would like wake up and log into the computer that he he assembled,
built it.
and then it'd just be like, oh, what's this?
Sam.
This is a new game that he bought, and one of my
Yeah.
first games was Dark Forces 2, and it just like always worked perfectly. It was like no problems. I didn't know how it worked. It just
Yeah.
was there.
I remember seeing Myst for the first time at Keith's house.
Yeah.
And knowing that it was Keith's dad's game and just looking at it and being like, ooh, that's what an adult game looks like. it's all austere and there's
know,
like a ship and
that's
stuff.
like the
it's not a
first time I
blue
saw
hedgehog who jumps on
Similar
robots.
game. The Seventh Guest, and I thought I shouldn't be playing this. This is not a game for me.
Right.
On the CDI.
I remember that when my parents were playing You Don't Know Jack with their
Yes,
friends from Maine that were
yes.
visiting,
Sure.
and I was like, I think something about this is not for me.
I've got a red key card.
And this was
We're in business.
we're talking about what they had, what Keith's dad set up was their television was a PC.
Yeah.
Which lots of people
you
do
had it
now,
in the
but this
90s?
was
This
this
is
was
in the
when
90s.
no one had that.
Yeah,
it
this was like
crazy.
95,
They were
95.
hooking it up?
He had a huge gateway monitor that plugged into a PC.
Yeah.
And then he put up like a weird cable card into, and that was our TV.
Weird.
Yeah, it was very weird.
I mean, like, I remember when I got Doom, like, I didn't understand what operating systems were. So, like, my buddy down the street who we played together all the time.
I'm really
he had a
desperate
Mac.
to hear
I was
that.
like, hey, I'll just bring over Doom. Like, you got a computer.
Yeah.
And like brought over Doom. Like, didn't understand why it didn't install. Like, then I was like, I'm pretty sure I can make this work. Just like dragging files over and like deleting things. I ended up like destroying their computer.
Of course. Oh my God.
They had to like bring someone else over and like fix it. They're like, what'd you do? I was like, I was just trying to install Doom,
I was trying
man.
to play a game.
Like, it's a Mac. I was like, what's a Mac? Like, I just didn't.
Well, it's the 90s, so it's useless.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Actually,
It did
There we
have
go, blew 'em
Jack
up.
on it,
Oh, yeah.
which was an
Great.
like
Love that.
great
I,
game now, but like blew our minds back
Yeah.
then. And it also allowed us to say, "Oh, I'm gonna screw you,"
Right.
and not get yelled at because
Yeah.
it was a mechanic in the video game.
So when I was in like 8th grade, I was in like the Brain Bowl or whatever, and we had
Does
a
the music men do this?
The Brain Bowl?
What is the Brain Bowl?
The Brain Bowl.
Is that like a Halloween thing? We're like,
No.
no, it's
don't
spaghetti.
just say this
You
like
can't
it's
just
a,
say
it should
Brain
make
Bowl.
sense to
Like
us.
the Brain
How
Bowl.
come you guys all don't understand what I mean by the Brain Bowl?
Surely if I just keep saying Brain Bowl, you'll understand
All right.
eventually.
It's like a Super
everyone will
Bowl.
just nod along and go, "Oh, I
The Brain
understand."
Bowl.
Austin."
Right, I was in the Brain
It's
Bowl.
like a Super Bowl, but for smart people.
But for brains.
Okay. And I was in 8th
Oh, for
grade.
people, not for
I
brains.
hadn't learned yet that I was not as smart as I thought I was.
Okay.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's a
well, how
tough
old
lesson
were
to
you?
learn.
I was in 8th grade. Whatever.
How old was everybody else in the Brain Bowl?
Also that.
Oh, this wasn't like a national
a
thing.
junior high.
Where you were like,
No,
I'm gonna
there
be in the
was-
Brain Bowl with these other adults.
It got to a national level. I was not at the national level yet. We were at the regional local level. And I
shotgun
convinced my
guy.
professor, my teacher, that we should play
Yes.
Jack to train for the Brain Bowl.
God.
It's a trivia game.
It is.
That has
It is.
trivia.
It's not that kind of
It
trivia
was
game.
not, and then we got to the Brain Bowl and we did not do well.
Oh my God. I bet if you had not convinced your teacher that the best way to study was to play a video game about tricking you with questions.
Yeah.
So like we had the
Yeah,
Jeopardy game, we were training on that, and
Yeah.
then we were like, what about You Don't Know Jack? That guy says
That is a
screw.
better game.
I mean, there is for real trivia, and you don't know Jack. Like, it's
Right.
not like.
Well, but they don't present the questions in the way that a Brain Bowl would.
Right.
They present it like,
Yeah.
like Britney Spears did this thing, so what about string theory?
Yeah, but like, it's still
dead.
it's still testing you about string theory.
Yeah, sure.
We
I-
there
but
were
it
no
is-
questions in the Brain Bowl about string theory.
It's
for the
funny.
record.
What are the kind of questions?
Like algebra and
Oh, so
history.
you were a mathlete.
No, because it was everything.
No, he was
Okay.
the brain.
But that is what happened. They
Fleet.
did put me on a thing I was bad at.
Right.
Like in the bowl, there was a thing where it was like you got randomly
I
assigned.
just killed 3 guys with one
in-
shot.
When they put me in the
They put
bowl.
me
In the bowl. Man, when you're in the bowl, you don't come out.
You've seen The Running Man, right?
Yeah, I've seen The Running
It's like
Man.
that, but trivia
Okay.
questions.
Okay. So,
So yeah, it went bad. Anyway, that's my story about You Don't Know Jack.
Sorry for younger audiences. That's like the Hunger Games, but trivia.
Thank you. I think this version of Doom is bad. We should move on.
Does
Yeah,
no one else,
sure.
does no one else want to
It's
play
the
this
worst,
awesome version?
The worst part about this version is the music.
It's
the music.
terrible.
It's just.
This is a
Yeah, but the
nice-
sound effects aren't
atrocious.
playing, so I don't even know if this is the game's fault.
can we? I mean, I think, and this is controversial. Maybe the starter. I'm gonna be
Don't.
lenient. Maybe when you start playing Doom, it's always boring no matter what
Okay.
you're on.
All right.
Because
Let's change
Okay.
Doom.
Doom is a
Let's-
slow
we're gonna
starting
change
game.
Let's
Doom.
not even
Before
get
Well,
we
I've
do
had a
this,
lovely
this is
trip down
bullshit.
memory lane here.
I'm glad that you're having
If
fun.
nothing else.
Why'd you bring a PSP? We can't.
Oh,
that's a
oh,
Vita.
sorry. Yeah, I brought my Vita just in case
It just
I got
plugs
bored.
into the
Okay,
top.
fair.
Just in case
Yeah.
I got bored. I didn't know
Sure.
if this was gonna be fun or not.